Class, good morning. Thank you for your attendance. We'll be looking at our science lesson and we'll be discussing, and I'll give you a few important things about our topic. The topic we will be covering for today is yeah, cells. Yeah, we are looking at cells and we'll be giving you far few or some important uh, thoughts about cells. Yeah, and as we are looking at our topic, we should know that cells are the building blocks of life. Cells are building blocks of life. Yeah. If you go to any other uh, science teacher or science person, you can ask what is cells. He or she will be telling you that cells are building blocks of life, and they come in all size and shapes. Yeah, cells have different size and different shapes, and if you look at cells, it has many or all different um, shape and size. There are organisms that constitute only one cell. Yeah, there are are also organisms that constitute only one cell. Yeah, and that organism are called unicellular. Unicellular is an organism that consists of only one cell. And an example of a unicellular is bacteria. Bacteria is an example of a unicellular. Yeah, it consists only of one uh, cell. And the other one is we also have another cell that consists of multicellular. Yeah, multicellular. A cell that consists of multicellular, and an example of a cell, and multicellular is a cell that has more than one organisms. Yeah, and more than one cells in that organism. More than one cells in that organism. And an example of a multicellular cats, uh, dogs, or bird, human being as well. Yeah, human being are multicellular, and multicellulars are living beings or living things that have different cells that help them to, yeah, to survive. Like example for human being, we have cells that keep our skin fresh, cells that look after our growth, and cells that looks at or we can say that cells work together in a life process, and there are seven very important life process in cell that cells work to function. And the seven important life process are movement, respiration, growth, reproduction, nutrition, and nutrition. Yeah, those are very important seven life process that a living uh, thing survives on. Or if you look at this one here, we have a question there. It says, "What makes living being different from sand and water?" That's a very important question for you to understand, and I want you to know that this question is giving you more clear idea about cells. Yeah, and it says that living beings are different from sand and water because they have more cells that have their that plays their part in the function of that living being. And the cells theory consists of three basic points. Yeah, three basic points in a cell theory. Those three basic points is: one, all living things are made of cells. Two, The cell is the smallest function, smallest living things that can perform all the function of life. And the third one, all cells must come from pre-existing cell. Yeah. If you look at the first one, the all living things are made of cell. Like we also know that cells are building blocks of life. So all living things must be made of cells. In cells, there are living. In living things, there are cells existing. Second one, the number two, cells is the smallest living thing. Yeah, smallest living thing that can, or is the smallest living thing that can perform all the function of life. Cells, if you look at cells, you can't see cells with your own eyes. You must, if you want to see a cell, you can look at microscopes for you to see a cell. Yeah. Uh, like the example I have here, this is an example of a organism. Yeah, and it has cells inside. Yeah, it's an orange, and the cells are inside this orange, and they are making the functions that make this orange to be a sweet and attractive from the cells. How they are working and they're making their contribution to produce a juicy orange like this. That's what important about cells. And if you look at our next note here, we will be covering part of a cell. Okay? Part of a cell. Cells have more than many parts. But we will be only looking at these three important parts. These two important parts of cell. The three important parts of cell is we have cell membrane, we also have nucleus, we also have cytoplasm, and these are the only three uh, parts that you need to understand as a primary student. And I will be explaining the function of these three parts. The cell membrane is very thin yet has a complex structure. Yeah, the cell membrane is the outer part of a shell. It's very thin and it protect the cells from any or from damaging inside. And the next one we have nucleus. Nucleus is the brain of the cell. It contains or it controls all the activities of cells. Nucleus controls all the activities of cells. It's like brain, yeah, brain. The brain control everything, and the nucleus is the inner part of a cell. It stays inside. It's protected by the cell membrane. And we have also cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the space between the membrane and the nucleus, and it's excluding the nucleus. And it makes up the rest of the cells contained. In cytoplasm, it has many different parts inside. But you only know that cytoplasm, yeah, it has many different parts inside a uh, cell. So you should know that we have cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Those are the three important parts in a cell. Like if we look at this example, yeah, I can go and give an example here from this orange. If you look at that one outside here is the membrane, cell membrane. The part here is the cytoplasm, and nucleus is inside there, like the seed here. It consists of the nucleus. It's just an example for you to know. And inside here we have some cells are playing very important role from this particular orange. So if you uh, look at this one carefully, this diagram here, from this diagram here, this is the rough diagram of a cell, but if you look closely to this diagram, is an example of a animal cell. Yeah, this is an example of an animal cell, and this is how animal cells look. Yeah, like if you look at this one, but the part outside here, it's like the membrane, cell membrane, and the part here is like the nucleus. Yeah, inside the cell, it's very it's control the whole cell like a brain, and the part here is the cytoplasm. It is consists of many different parts, different things, different organs. So from this one, you can look at this question. We have one, two, three, four take home question for you to do it at home, and uh, mark your book when you come back with your question. So you can write a note, and also know that there are notes given for you, so you can look at the notes and try to answer these take home activities, and bring it back tomorrow. And if anyone have any question, we will be discussing it later today, or you can write the question and tomorrow ask it for our science class, next class tomorrow. Thank you, and Naka.